Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, the debate goes on, inside big versus outside big, which one's better, which one's worse, and we're going to talk about all that. Stage, park, 3v3, 2v2, whatever it may be, we're going to discuss that in today's video. Now, we usually lead off these videos, if you're new to the channel, with this topic of discussion and then kind of bridge into the gameplay for y'all to enjoy. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoy this vid. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. If we try to just 1 to 500 likes in the first 24 hours as well, I'd really appreciate that. But anyway, now what you see on the screen, there's a lot to discuss here, so I'm gonna go ahead and just talk about it. So in my opinion, the number one tip as far as what you should be bringing in as your big man kind of goes off your guard. So you're gonna see in this video, we got Shots, I call him AK, is running the offensive threat point guard. It's the play sharp build with sharp takeover, obviously you can see it, and I'm gonna put it like this. With this build, you can play with whatever. You can play with an outside big, you play with an inside big, it doesn't matter. And in my opinion, the inside big actually complements it pretty well. With the range and consistency that AK shoots at, and the fact that he's so fast at 6'2", just moving wise, and he has sharp takeover, it demands a lot of attention from the defense, and that's where they got to play high on screens. The guard has to go over everything. The big's going to be hedging really high, or they're going to play sides defense, which in my opinion is really what this game just comes down to. But anyway, to finalize the lineup intros, I got my finisher at the 3. This is essentially like a lock build, but also a slasher as well. So it's a little bit of an undersized version of the inside big, like it's say a 6'10", 6'11" paint beast, and then Apollo is on a playmaking defender. So they have basically the same lineup. They got the offensive threat PG with sharp takeover as well. Two-way slasher is a playmaking defender as well. You're going to see by the percentage that shows when I have the defensive leader, you can see he's got the percentage that kind of indicate that it'd be a playmaking defender. And then they have the paint beast at the big man spot with glass takeover. Now, this dude at the 3 is basically big man version of me. He's a little bit bigger, and obviously with the glass takeover, he's more meant to be just straight up a screen setter and stuff like that too. Now for the park, I feel like that might be better than my build, but I will say too, if you see undersized bigs or undersized players, say a 6'7" play sharp, just some randoms, I'm gonna speak to the park players, right? Just some 6'7" play sharp is lined up at the 3. I feel like my build is better for exposing that, just at the fact that driving is a little bit better than the standing dunks and standing layups right there. Now you see he gets one up. I don't have pogo stick on, literally just for that reason. I feel like I usually always carry pogo stick, but in stage 3v3, I'm not gonna do that. Now, you see right here, they get the switch off once, and now I'm gonna run it back, run the slip. Now, this is where I'll break that down later in the video for anybody who's new to the channel, because that wasn't really the best example of a rescreen slip. But you see they made the full switch right there. They're playing sides defense on us off rip. We're playing front back, and this is where it might be a little more exposed, but it's a little bit risky, I'd put it like that, but you can also make some big plays while playing front back. Now, playing front back against an inside big, in my opinion, is the only way to go, because if you're playing sides against an inside big, you're giving up slips, he's going to dunk on that corner rotation defender every single time, especially considering in the stage meta, it's usually some outside point guard guarding corner, and then you're locked down on ball. So that point guard is not going to be able to just drop and help off the corner very well. So again, it's going to be pretty easy takes to the paint. Playing sides defense on an inside big, look at this. I'm running the slip because they're playing sides on me, the big stepping up so high. And that's what a lot of people do against an inside on the stage, because it's all about not giving up threes. It's all about stopping them from 3 and, giving up 2s, but getting your 3s in transition. Now, you see, it's a kind of similar aspect in both of these situations. Let me know if y'all think I should have shown a video of me playing against a rim sharp rather than another inside big, but I feel like all my videos on the stage are literally against playing rim sharps, and it's always interesting to see another inside big and how they, how they kind of play and how the other offense works. You see right there, this is how they're working their offense. We're playing front back, and the reason they're working their offense like that is kind of how we're playing defense. Obviously, if you're playing sides, you're not going to hit with any screens, but that's when the big needs to know when to roll. Now, I got to talk about that real quick. I'm going to get away from the gameplay for 1 sec. If you are an inside big and you don't know when to roll, for instance right here, I probably rolled prematurely, and that kind of screwed us over. But if you're an inside big and you don't know how to roll and when to roll, that's when the outside big becomes much better. I feel like for its money, the outside big, the rim sharp build, is definitely just a better build for any casual player to get on, because it's a lot easier to work with, I'd put it like that, especially for a guard. If you don't know what you're doing on a rim sharp, I'm gonna put it like this: you can always just screen and stay put, and your guard can drive. Instead, when you're inside big, you can't just screen and stay put, because when you see this right here, how I'm holding B, now honestly it's kind of funny because I just did that and AK scored, but that's him being a very skilled guard, and I was kind of just holding the screen. They played the sides really wide and low because of how much I was scoring right there. But I really want to finalize that thought that I was going to talk about. So again, if you're just holding B and staying put as an inside big, that's when you're going to allow your guard to get double teamed, and your guard can't drive because the big's going to sit on the backside because you can't shoot as the big man, right? And the big defender is going to be sitting on the backside. Your guard can't drive, you can't do anything about it. That's why I'm saying the rim sharp is a lot easier for casuals to work with, or especially like casual point guards too, because it takes a lot of skill for AK to do what he did there, like beating the size defense like he did and getting a 3-pointer up even when they're playing that size D. Now right here, when I slip, it's not always for me to score even. It's sometimes to like drop one of those pieces of the size defense down so that they can't, maybe you could catch them, you know, on a miscommunication and stuff like that. Now, speaking of miscommunication, that right there, I want anybody who's watching to realize you can't throw lobs behind half court. It just doesn't work like that. Your guard has to be like, you know, tighter up on the 3-point line. But right here, he gets it back. Now, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the size matchup. Now, I want to run this back one time and just explain to y'all what's happening here. So they're playing size defense, right? They're not doing anything about it. Like I'm saying, the big was playing left. The dude in the brown shirt, the lockdown, was playing right. Now this is where I roll, brown shirt stays down, and I apologize for the breakdowns if anybody doesn't like it. I know a lot of my subs like this type of stuff and really like the breakdowns. Now again, this is where you can call it what it is. Either it's stick skill or it's lack of speed from that big man spot. This is, in my opinion, is why I don't like the paint beast as the big man, because when you have to play sides and you have to pass it off, this build is kind of a mismatch. Like AK can really get threes up pretty easily on him. And it's so funny because live commentary, literally at this point in time, I was like, yo, you want to piece him up for 3 real quick? And he literally already got the 3 up before I could even say it. And it's kind of funny because just, you know, great minds think alike. Like we were both thinking that, you know, we're in a situation where we're down by 3. If he could get a 3 off on that big man, it'd be super premium and it'd be nice to have. Now right here, again, another loose ball that they get and they're able to get it back to the point guard. 10 seconds on the clock right here. I'm playing left, Apollo played right. You know, it's situational when we play size defense, and unfortunately right here, this is where the size of the paint beast comes into play because he was able to just camp paint and grab the lob over Apollo's head. You know, kind of shot clock bailout. And it's actually a really good thing about that, like size disadvantage. For me to be 6'9", I feel like I don't actually finish lobs very, very well. The standing ones, that is. The moving ones are really good, but the standing lobs are kind of tough, and at 6'10" or higher, they definitely work really well. Now again, AK gets another 3-pointer up right there. You got to show appreciation to the guards that can do that. They can beat sides defense and get 3-pointers up. That is like a hard thing to do. Now, obviously, it makes my life a whole lot easier because when you have to respect the point guard so much like that, obviously, I can get up easy slips. Now, right here, I don't like the shot. I'm going to run it back real quick and kind of explain to y'all my thought process on this. So, again, I'm going to go 2 different ways with this discussion. I apologize if I'm paused for too long here, but honestly, he probably should have just taken it all the way to the paint. I was hedging too high, and that's where I'm respecting the point guard shooting ability too much, and that's where sometimes you can get drives off this. Now, I want to say this too. Since we're playing front back and I'm playing hedge defense, I can understand why you would take this, I suppose, because, you know, you're not getting free 2s like we are, where you can always be patient with it and only look for 3s as a point guard, because your very last resort could always be an easy slip from like your big man, like I always get. Because again, and you see, again, AK is so nasty with that stuff, bro. You see, it's so simple too. And this is the AK that I love, because if a lot of you guys are like sub to me and you know how AK's been playing in like the past, say like 4 or 5 months of 2K, and you know, sometimes he makes this stuff too complicated on himself. He does a whole lot of dribble moves and a whole lot of like, you know, just back and forth sideways motion, you know, like left, right, left, right, left, right, rather than just go super far left like that. And again, I'm so sorry for those who don't like these breakdowns, but it's so simplistic and I gotta show y'all because it's so easy. A lot of y'all can capitalize off this yourself, no matter what the skill is. So again, locks out the play, right? Brown shirt. So if AK does some selfish stuff, right, and tries to stop and pop on the 3-point line, try to get a 3-pointer up because he sees the big man's out of play, he's not gonna get the shot off, all right? But since he realizes one man is down, we got a 2-on-1, they're gonna respect the 3-pointer super hard. He's not getting selfish and he's gonna be patient with this and take our 2. That's big time. It's super premium that he did that, because now we have a 20-16 lead and a 4-point lead in stage on game point is beautiful. Like, that's a great outcome. And right here, honestly, I feel like they should have been more patient with this too. I feel like they should have been kind of fiending for that 3-pointer a little bit more, because at this point in the game, you kind of need the 3. And again, AK is out here just getting open easy. Again, it's just miscommunications from their big man to their lockdown. Not the best gameplay performance as far as you know, the opposing team goes, but it was still a close one, 18-23. I hope y'all enjoyed the vid. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. And like I said, if we get this one to 500 likes in the first 24 hours, I'd really appreciate that. If you made it to this point in the video, put shots in the comments to show your support that you made all the way through. And again, I gotta show my boy some love. I wish he would get on this YouTube stuff, but he's just not really with that. He's, you know, in his own clan and stuff too, and he is in this like comp stage community, but like I said, he's not exactly on the YouTube. He doesn't have the right equipment as far as like being able to record videos and stuff like that goes. And let me know if y'all think I should put him on. Let me know if you guys think I should hook him up with like an Elgato and a mic and all that and show him some love. I don't know if I'd be able to make the computer work, like if I'd be able to, you know, buy him a whole computer or laptop, but if you were able to make that happen, low-key, I could probably hook him up with the Elgato and mic and get my boy going, because I would love to put him on, man, because for real, he helps me so much as far as being able to bring these comp gameplays to y'all, because it, like I said, to finalize and close this discussion, I want y'all to understand, as an inside big, you need a good competitive outside point guard who can get himself open. The problem very often is going to be that you either don't have a very smart big or you don't have a very smart guard. It's going to be one of the two, right? Like say you're playing with your IRLs, your homies, but you're a really good player, you're a really good point guard. It's going to be hard for you to work with your IRL inside big man because he doesn't know when to roll, he doesn't know when to slip, he doesn't know when to do any of that. So that's why, and I'm going to just scroll through some clips while we're talking here, but he doesn't know when to roll, he doesn't know when to slip, he doesn't know how to do any of that. So it's going to be hard on you as an actual good point guard. Like even if AK were running with somebody like that, it's going to be hard for him. But if you play with like a rim sharp, it doesn't really matter who, because all he has to do is, you know, hold a screen and just stay out the way. AK can drive whenever the paint becomes open. Now, for me as an inside big as well, it's hard for me if I don't have a good outside point guard, because it's going to be so hard for me to get an open paint, because if my guard can't get open from three, then the big doesn't ever have to step up and help, like, you know, hedge out on the 3-point line, or they're not going to feel as, you know, intimidated and play sides defense, and I won't be able to get easy slips like that. So again, it's a marriage of like, you need good players at both spots to be good with a pick and roll on inside big. Now, if you want to go ahead and run with, say, like a, you know, a rim sharp, then you don't exactly need like a great big man. Like he can be very, you know, basic and just, you know, hold a screen, stay out the way, simple as that. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the vid. That's the final discussion right there. If you disagree, feel free to drop a comment and tell me what you think as well. I'm open to any feedback as to like what you guys think as far as what's better, the rim sharp or the inside big. And then feel free to let me know what you think of the whole inside big discussion too, because we had two different types of bigs. We had me with the 6'9" finisher, the undersized lockdown that could play more mobile defense, and in my opinion, you don't really need height all that much in this stage threes. And you can see by the Toxics tournament, like if you guys are familiar with that Toxics tournament, or the like 3v3 Pro-Am like Park tournament, they don't even let bigs that are taller than 6'9" in. Like you have to be 6'10" or taller to be able to line up at that 3 spot in those 3v3 tournaments. And I think it's so stupid, but I suppose it is what it is, because they don't want good mobile lockdowns. It's so dumb. Like they really just play to their own rules and, like, you know, don't let anybody like adjust to their game. Like I feel like you should have to adapt, and if something's better, then deal with it. Like you shouldn't just think that like, oh, I want every single person to have a play sharp, play lock, and rim sharp. No discussion. Because I feel like that like tall inside big stuff is kind of whack, because you don't really like, bring much to the table as far as offensive spacing goes, and then you also are kind of hurting your point guard because you don't really bring that great of defense to the table either, as far as like switching onto like the ball handler and defense. But anyway, that's all for my little rant discussion, whatever you want to talk about. Anyway, like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed the vid. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. And if you made it to the end of the video, put Laker in the comments to show your support that you made it all the way through this one. But anyway, peep this move in action, bro. It's so clean. But anyway, that's off the vid. Check out that one from yesterday too if you haven't already. I showed how to do that move with controller cam and all that. But anyway, like I said, put Laker in the comments to show your support that you made it all the way through to the very end of this one. But other than that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.